Hey friends, welcome to yet another series of exciting learning. This time I will cover VI Editor basics. VI Editor is just go to our PPT. Okay, VI Editor is a standard Unix editing program. I believe you all must have worked on Notepad or text editors or Eclipse or any of similar editor. So VI Editor does all those things, and in fact in much more powerful manner. It is one of the most exciting and very powerful editor. So I mean, people who are new to Linux will find it little difficult to learn, but people who are already working on it, they must be aware of it, right? It is very exciting. So how to learn it? It's very simple. You write vi and there are a number of options that you can provide, or you can simply type in the file name. Okay, so let's see some of the examples of it. So how to start vi editor? You say vi, you enter a file name. That file name could be new. Similarly, you can start a vi editor with an existing file, and you can enter the line number also from where you want to start editing. Similarly, you can open any of the file which is already existing, and once you have opened it, how to close it? Using colon Q. I will tell you about the different modes of the VI and how to work on it, but I mean, using colon Q, you actually close it, and then you can use colon Q exclamation marks along with to do a forceful. Okay, so let's go into the tutorial section and let's see. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so let's make it clear, and then let's have a listing. Okay, so how to open a file? Suppose if I want to open this file, so I will say vi, I will open it, sync.cpp. Now the file is open. By default, when you open a file, okay, so your vi editor actually goes into a command mode. I will discuss about the different modes. Okay, so let's first cover the basics. So you are, by default, you are in the command mode, and you can navigate by using your up arrow or your down arrow or the left or the right, very much the way you do it in Notepad or any other editor, right? And other thing, I mean, suppose if I want to open a file to a specific line number, say 89, so I would say plus 89, and this, it will start from line number 89, you see. Okay, similarly, okay, uh, yep. So suppose if I want to open any pre-existing file, suppose if I want to open a new file, say my new file is qwerty.txt. I say this, it is all empty, right? So I am closing it using colon q, right? Similarly, that I told you that if you want to close a file uh, forcefully, you say q and then exclamation sign, and you do enter, it will do a forceful q. Sometime it is needed. Okay, so let's move to our tutorial. Okay, so we have covered how to start vi editor session, how to open an existing file with a specific line number, or how to make a new file, and how to quit. Okay, let's go. Okay, so now we'll discuss about the different modes. Actually, you have three modes in VI editor. Here we'll discuss only about two modes. One is the command mode, that is the default mode. Whenever you open an VI editor, you go into a command mode, right? And command mode gives you n number of commands, like you can use these commands to I mean, manipulate your text or search or change or n number of things, right? Similarly, you get there's another mode called insert mode. You press I and you enter into an insert mode, and then you can input your text, right? But whenever you want to search, or you want navigation, then you have to go back into the command mode, and for going back into the command mode you have to press escape. Okay, so it's like by default VI editor opens in a command mode, and then you press I, and then you can enter any data that you want to enter in the VI editor, and you can do escape, and then you can use all the facilities of a command mode to manipulate it. Okay, so how to navigate in a command in a VI editor? Okay, so we'll learn about it. So let's go into the tutorial section of it. Okay, so let's open a file first. So by default we are in a command mode. Okay, so now if I want to write, what would I do? I will press I. You see, I'm in insert mode. Then I will write hi, I am writing, etc. Okay, and then I will do escape to go back into the command mode, and I can use n number of commands that I require. Okay, so how would I navigate? In command mode you need to, you have HJKL, right? H is for left, for moving left side in the same line. L is for moving in this right in the same line, and J is for going down in the same line, and K is for going up. This is the standard way, but you can also use your up arrow, down arrow, and your left and right button to navigate. Even in edit mode, insert mode, you can use your left arrow and right arrow for working, right? But you cannot use HJKL in your, is in your insert mode. Okay, so this is how about going into insert mode, going back to the command mode, and how to navigate. Okay, so what are the commands in the command mode which are helpful? The first command which is very helpful is dd. The dd command is used for deleting. Let's have a reference first, and then we'll do the practical session. Okay, so first is the dd command. It is for delete. Okay, so you do you just take your cursor to a line and you say dd, it will delete a line. And then there is a yy. Suppose you want to copy a line, you do a yy, and then you do a p. You just do a yy for copying, and then p for pasting. Okay, similarly if you want to read a file from while you are in a vi session, you want to read a file from the outside the vi session, so you enter in a command mode, you say r and you enter file name. It will read all the content of that file into the current file session. Okay, similarly if you want to search from top to bottom, you use a forward slash, from bottom to top a question mark. Okay, and then for following the searched value, you have to do n for following it in the required manner, and in the opposite manner you will use n. Okay, similarly small o is for creating a new line below the current text, and capital O is creating a new line above the current line. Okay, similarly R is for replacing a text on the cursor. Okay, so let's go into the practical session. Practical sessions are always more grateful. Okay, so uh, how to delete? You say dd, you have deleted line. Okay, u, you do u for undo. Suppose if I want to delete a 3 line, how would I go about it? You say 3 dd, it will delete all 3 lines. If you want to do undo, you have to say u. Okay, suppose if I want to copy this 3 line, I will say 3 yy, and then I will go to the specific line and I will say p. It will copy it, paste it. Okay, and then I will do undo for undoing whatever I have done. Okay, and now if I want to read the content of a file which I'm very interested in, right, while working, suppose if I need some content from the external file, I will say colon. For for executing any command, you need to go for colon. Okay, you say r. Suppose I already have a file called abc.txt. Okay, I enter it. You see, the entire content of that file is copied in your current file. Now I can do anything. Okay, so this is very helpful when you're writing code or when you're manipulating text or you're doing anything. Okay, so let's save our file as it is. Now suppose if I want to search something for working out my code. Suppose I want to search this config underscore file. If I want to search top to bottom, I will say a forward slash and then I will enter the search value and I will say enter. You will see it is highlighted. Now I will press N, okay, small n, for just following it from top to bottom. And if I want to follow it in reverse manner, I will press shift and then I will press N and it will follow in reverse manner. Okay, this is how it's very, once you learn it, VI editor is exceptional editing tool entity. I mean, it gives you immense power for editing anything. Okay, similarly if you want to do a reverse searching, you just say question mark and you do enter, and now you will see just pressing by N you are going from bottom to top. And if you again want to reverse the way you want to traverse it, you do shift and it will go from top to bottom. Okay, practice it, it's a wonderful utility. Now suppose I'm at a line and I want to create a new line below the existing line. I will say O, it has created a new line for me. Okay, similarly if I want to create a new line above the current line, I will say shift O, it has created a new line. Okay, and if I want to replace this word D with E, I will say R E. Okay, so I mean these are some of the commands that you need to practice. Okay, so let's move ahead in our session. Okay, so W is for saving the current file. Suppose you have edited a file, you have made a number of changes and you want to edit it, you would say W for saving it. And somehow it is not saving, then you use an exclamation mark for forcefully saving it. If you want to exit, right, you just want to save and exit the file, you say WQ. And similarly for forceful, you say WQ command, exclamation mark. And if you want to see the history of command what you have already used, you just type history. It will display whatever commands you have run. By default it displays 5 to 10 commands that have been recently used. It can be configured in vim info. Okay, similarly if you want if you want to reach a beginning of line, you just type up arrow and you will this thing, and you will reach the beginning of the line. Similarly you enter dollar sign, you will reach the end of the line. Okay, and for reaching the first line, :1, right, it takes you the first line number, and capital G for reaching the last line of the file. And suppose if you want to reach to any particular line, you say :n. Okay, so we'll see the practical session. Okay, how to go about it. So suppose this is a file and I have deleted and I want to save it. I will say :w and is saved. Okay, I can do :w exclamation mark for saving it forcefully if it's not saving. Right, this happens sometime when multiple people are working on the same file and it has created a swap file, then it is required at that time. Okay, and if I want to save and quit, I will say WQ enter, exit. Okay, for forceful you will use WQ exclamation. Okay, and now if I want to see history of the commands that I have executed so far, so I say history, and you say it has given you a history of 20 commands that you have just used. Right, so you can see what all things you have done. Right, and I mean you can make use of it. Okay, now suppose if I'm at a line, say anywhere, and I want to come to the beginning of the line. How would I do it? I will press the up arrow with the shift, it takes you to the beginning of the line, and I will press taller to reach the last of the line. So it's a shortcut, right? So you press shift and up arrow, it takes you to the beginning of the line, and shift dollar sign to the end of the line. Okay, so similarly, if I want to read the first line of the file, I will say :1. I reach the first line of the file, and then I will do a shift G, it takes you to the last line of the file. Okay, so this is the last line probably. Okay, and if I want to say reach 56 line number, I will say enter, and we have reached 56 line number. Okay, okay, so let's go back into the tutorial to see what else we have to cover in today's session. I mean, today's is a quick session. We just want to cover some basics of the VI. Okay, so we have already seen colon U for undoing whatever you have done. Then this period is very very important. If you want to repeat any particular command, you just press period and it will follow the command. You need not to write the entire command again, or press a number of keys. Just press period and it's very very clean. Okay, and one of the very good utility that I find in VI is, I mean, when you are in a VI session, you can call external shell command, and you can make use in the existing session. And how to do it? You do a command colon, and then you issue a exclamation sign, and then any of the shell command you can execute from the existing VI. Okay, then these are some of the advanced thing. Suppose if you want to replace a text, say ABC, with XYZ throughout the VI, then you execute this command. We'll see in the practical session how to go about it. Then one of the advanced version of using the external command, suppose you want the output of the external command in the current file, so you do a read. Okay, you do a read, and then you write the external command. This is where it is mainly used, right? And then you get the output in the current file. We'll see that. And then one of my favorites, I mean, you can split your VI editor into n number of windows, and you can simultaneously manipulate multiple files. I mean, it's very helpful while configuring and managing. I will show you. Okay, so let's go into the practical session, and perhaps this would be interesting. Okay, so suppose if I have deleted this line and I want to execute that command again, I will say dot period. Right, so this is how, I mean, you execute any command, and period will just execute that command in a very simplified fashion to you. Okay, now in the existing VI session, I want to execute an external shell command. I will say exclamation colon exclamation ls. I want to see a long listing. You see, you are still in the current VI session and you have a listing. Suppose if you like, if you wanted this data, okay, you say input, and then you go in the input mode, and you can just get the data. You do a shift insert, and you can just carry on your work. Okay, and one of the advanced version of it, you will love it. You say :r exclamation ls hyphen ltrh. Okay, and then you have the entire data set into your current file, and you can work with it. Okay, whatever way you want it. I mean, you can in fact execute any command if you want. Okay, now very important, very useful. Suppose I want to replace this config.file with another value. How would I do it in the entire file? If I tend to do it manually, it will take a huge amount of time to just search it and replace it everywhere. But using simple vi command, I can do it in fraction of seconds. See, colon, you do percentage, then you say search this and replace this with this throughout the file. So what is this? You say percentage, it means entire file. Search this word, replace with this word, and G means throughout the file. Okay, you do this and you see everywhere, right? Everywhere it has a plate config underscore file with config underscore file one, right? Okay, so you see how good this command is, right? Okay, so this is how you can search and replace. I will get into details of each and every command in my next video tutorial, and in that we'll deal with each and every command in much more detailed fashion. Okay, now one of my favorite. Suppose if I'm working on some file and if I want to refer some other file, how would I do it? So I can split this current VI session into multiple sessions by using a command called :sp split horizontally, and I say enter. You see my VI editor session is split into this session and this session. So this is sync.cpp, this is sync.cpp. Now I can open some other file here. I say edit abc.csv, and you see now I have two windows in the same VI session. One is opening a file called abc.csv, another is sync.cpp, and I can jump between these two windows using control W twice. So now I'm in this file, I can do my work, I can do anything, right? I can go into input insert session, I can write anything, and then I can do anything, right? And then I can go to the other, and I can here I can do a number of things, right? And this is the horizontal splitting. Similarly, suppose if you want to split this screen into two parts, how would you do it? You say colon vertical sp, vertical split. You see, so now you have two screen. Another is, now I can open some other file here, say edit edit say test, okay, test.cpp. So now I have three windows. Similarly, I can split this windows into n number of windows, but I mean, of logically you will do it for the required number of cells, right? So you do control W twice to jump between the windows, and you can edit at the same time, and you can carry out your work very fastly. I tell you, when you learn VI and you tend to use it to its potential, which is very difficult to learn or everything that VI offers, but it makes you fall in love with it. Okay, so I will like to sign off right now, and please follow my all the tutorials. I will be coming up with more VI specific command tutorial, which will be stressing each and every detail of the VI. And please like my tutorial and watch it and share your feedback. Okay, bye, signing off. Bye.